um, the script for a remote meeting, and then we'll move into the pledge immediately after. As chair of the House Labor, Industrial, and Rehabilitative Services Committee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are A, providing public access to the meeting by telephone with additional access possible by video or other electronic means. We are utilizing Zoom for this electronic meeting. All members of the committee and select staff have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting by clicking on the following website address: https://zoom.us/j/97115570558, or dialing one of the following phone numbers: 1-312-626-6799 or 1-929-205-6099. B, providing public notice of the necessary information for accessing the meeting. We previously gave notice to the public of the necessary information for accessing the meeting, including how to access the meeting using Zoom or telephonically. This information is printed in the House calendar. C, providing a mechanism for the public to alert the public body during the meeting if there are problems with the access. If anybody has a problem, please call 271-3600 or email at hcs@leg.state.nh.us. D, adjourning the meeting if the public is unable to access the meeting. In the event that the public is unable to access the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. I want to introduce staff that are on the meeting assisting us. Christina Dyer is the meeting host. Additional staff providing support are Jennifer Four and Joel Anderson. Actually, I believe that's Bradley Greenland. At any rate, this is a public meeting of the House Rehabilitative Services Committee. A copy of the agenda and minutes has been posted in the main page of the General Court website under the heading Remote Meetings. Please note that all votes that are taken during the meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during the meeting, which is required under the right to know law. So let's do the roll call and then we'll do the pledge. So Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Real quick question, Christina, do I have to record the roll call or no?
Yes, please.
Yes, I'll write it down, thank you. All right, Representative Susi.
Here, I am at home and alone.
Representative Baruti. Representative Baruti.
Representative Baruti had a court hearing that he
No, he's here. He's right there.
You are muted, Mr. Representative. Ben Baruti, you are muted.
There you go.
Okay, I am here, and my secretary's working on the other side of the room.
Thank you. Representative Cahill.
Here in Newmarket, my wife is in the house, but not presently in the room.
Great. Representative De Silvestro.
Here, and I am alone.
Representative Schmidt.
I am here and I'm alone except for a bird which you may see fly across in front of me.
Representative Toomey.
I'm here and I'm alone.
Representative Bordy.
Here alone.
Representative Bouchard.
I'm here at home and alone.
Myself, I'm here in my bedroom in Nashua by myself. Representative Hall. Right here. Representative Kanzler.
I'm here and my son is in the room with me, but he's asleep.
Representative Flanagan. Representative Flanagan.
I'm back and I'm alone. I had some technical difficulties. The rope between the cups broke.
Representative Seaworth.
I'm here, I'm in my home, and I'm by myself.
Representative Avalani.
Here at work alone.
Representative O'Day.
I'm here and alone.
Representative Renzullo.
I am here alone. Well, actually, I have my cat with me, but in my office.
Representative Callum. Representative Mackey. And Representative Nunes.
I'm here and I'm alone in my residence.
And Chair.
I am here in my home office alone.
17 people present and 3 not here.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. I think Representative Mackey just joined us.
Representative Mackey, could you identify yourself and whether you're alone or with anyone else? You're muted.
There he is.
Yes, this is Representative Mackey, and I am alone.
Thank you. Representative Flanagan, last chance. Could you lead us in the pledge?
I certainly can. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We're here today to address 3 bills that were sent to interim study. The way we're going to do this is we're going to take up 1 bill at a time, first in a work session where we'll discuss what we ought to do with it. And then we'll move directly into an executive session for that bill. We will make a motion and vote. And then we'll move on to a work session for the second and eventually the 3rd bill. There are only 2 appropriate motions to be made on interim study. One is to recommend that future legislation be filed, and the other is that future legislation should not be filed. So any other motion is out of order, and we can proceed. The first bill we're going to take up in work session is HB 738. That bill is relative to protection from an abusive work environment for state employees. I can provide a little bit of background. The reason we sent this to interim study was because there is an interest on the part of the Department of Administrative Services in developing a program that would address civility in the workplace. For over a year, they've been working on that program. They intended to have trainings for managers and employees rolled out during the winter, but just when they're getting ready to do that, or they're almost ready to do that, and the pandemic struck. So things are delayed. I understand that they have gone back to work on finalizing the trainings and are getting ready to start the trainings later this fall. Representative Nunes and I have worked with the department, and I would welcome Representative Nunes chiming in if he's interested.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We did go through several meetings with the administrative group and many other people from other departments that are in the state they all joined in and developed a wonderful program that they will be pushing out. As the chairman stated, we did have conversations with the administration office over the summertime and as recently as in the past couple of weeks, and they have Commissioner Arlinghouse's group has committed to completing this program, and they would like to get it pushed out as soon as possible. They've done a good job, and we'll also have access to go in and look at that program to make sure that it covered all the bases that we talked with them about. It was an honor to work with all of these folks and you, Mr. Chairman, in order to get this done, as we both agreed early on that this should have been policy and not legislation. And I believe that that the commissioners group, Commissioner Arlinghouse and his group, have worked very hard to make this possible. So a hand clap to them, because they did a great job, and they continued on even when there were no people in the offices. They continued to work on the program. So I'm very optimistic about the outcome of it.
Sorry. I think what I'd like to do is I inform that sorry. I'm informed that the prime sponsor of the bill, Representative Schuett, is listening in and would like to say a few words. And I think before we get further discussion, I'd ask the host to do what she needs to do to let Representative Schuett speak with us.
All right, wonderful. She's in. We'll just have her unmute and she would be able to speak. Representative Schuett?
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to address the committee, Mr. Chair. I agree. I also have been involved in some of the meetings with Commissioner Arlinghouse and Deputy Commissioner, and I believe that they are very earnest in putting this forward as a policy to all state employees. And I'm pretty satisfied with the package that they've developed. And I leave it to the committee as to whether or not anything needs to go forward to continue to monitor this or not. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
We mute Representative Renzullo. Couple of the comments that I would make is that both the Representative Nunes and myself have asked to be kept in the loop and given access to the training once it is online, so that we can experience it along with the managers and the state employees. With that, any thoughts or comments from the committee?
This is Manny. Well, I guess I should raise my hand, but I just wanted to say that I think just continuing the monitoring of this is a great idea, and happy to see that the Department of Administrative Services is taking it seriously and is implementing trainings.
I will say that I've got the participants box open on the side of my screen, so as hands go up, I will respond to them. I see no hands at present. Are we satisfied and ready to move into executive session? Seeing no objection, we will move. Whoop. Representative.
Sorry, I was agreeing with you.
Okay, all right, thank you. Representative Espidi, your hand is up.
Yeah, I just think for the subcommittee work session, do we need a motion and or second, or should we just move that to the executive session?
I believe that we don't need a motion in the work session. The motion comes in the executive session. I'm correct on that, right, Christina?
I've seen it done both ways. I know the paperwork looks like it's a subcommittee, so not necessary. As I said, I've seen it both ways, so we could move right into executive session.
I see no need to vote twice.
Mr. Chairman, as chairman, I believe you have the right to call the meeting into executive session.
Yep, that's what I'm about to do. We are moving into executive session on HB 738. At this point, it would be appropriate to have a motion. Representative Nunes, do you have a motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I do. I'd like to recommend that no further legislation is needed on this item.
And do we have a second?
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Flanagan. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Representative Susi.
Yes.
Representative Baruti. Representative Baruti.
He has probably stepped away. Yes, he has.
Representative Cahill.
Yes.
Representative De Silvestro.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Toomey.
Yes.
Representative Bordy.
Yes.
Representative Bouchard.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Representative Hall. Representative Kanzler.
Yes.
Representative Flanagan.
Yes.
Representative Seaworth.
Yes.
Representative Avalani.
Yes.
Representative O'Day.
Yes.
Representative Renzullo.
Yes.
Representative Callum. Representative Mackey.
Yes.
Representative Nunes.
Yes.
And Chairman.
Yes.
The vote is 17-3 unanimous. Or 17-0 with 3 non-voting.
Okay, I'm going to unmute myself again. Hopefully the dogs will not keep barking. So I would move us along to a work session on House Bill 1386. This is relative to employment protection for qualified patients of New Hampshire's therapeutic cannabis program. Again, some background on this one. Representative Thomas was a prime sponsor and testified before the committee, and she also participated in a subcommittee work session that we had on this bill. And there was, I don't want to put thoughts into people's minds, but there were some issues raised both during the hearing and during the subcommittee as to how the bill would be implemented. I don't recall any testimony saying that people who are using therapeutic cannabis ought to be fired just for that. There were concerns about people who are perhaps impaired working certain types of jobs. And in the end, I believe the conclusion was that there were no easy solutions to those concerns. And I also called Representative Thomas in recent days, and she remains interested in working on the issue, and would like to file legislation going forward, possibly a study committee. With that, I would open it up to further discussion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Representative Flanagan.
I happen to concur. I think by legalizing medical marijuana, there has probably got to be some guidelines. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that it would be a study committee, because this bill right now, I believe, had parameters in it that need to do further research. So I'd be supportive of a bill dealing with a study committee of specifics. And as you said, you can't have positions or occupations in which the public is being served and someone being on cannabis. So I'd be somewhat supportive of where you are right now.
Representative Nunes.
I would thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would tend to agree with Representative Flanagan. I was in this work committee, the study group that when they came in to talk to us about the thing, and the issue that I had through this was that I did not like mandating to private industry what they should do and what they shouldn't do. But as we move towards legalization in the state, and at some point it will happen, I believe that when that does happen, that things will need to be in place in order to suffice this need. So I am in agreement with Mr. Flanagan.
Representative Avalani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Will workman's comp and liability insurance be at the table for the study committee?
I don't know that I'm in a position to say, but I would agree that it's a good idea.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Seeing no other hands, are we ready to move into executive session? Let's do that. Moving into executive session on House Bill 1386. Do we have a motion? I usually have this prepared ahead of time. Representative Flanagan, would you like to make a motion?
I do, but I'm somewhat hesitant, Mr. Chairman, because can we recommend further legislation but qualify it by saying in the form of a study committee, that type of thing?
Sure.
Okay, so moved.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
I'm not sure where that came from. But Representative Susie seconds. Mr. Clerk, roll call.
Mr. Chairman, could I interject just one moment?
Of course.
I think Representative Avalani brings up a good point. So if I can amend my motion to include a subcommittee with concerns about workers' compensation and liability too.
Mr. Susie, do you maintain your second?
I do.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Clerk.
HB 1386, Representative Susi.
Yes.
Representative Baruti. Representative Cahill.
Yes.
Representative Di Silvestro.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Toomey.
Yes.
Representative Bordy.
Yes.
Representative Bouchard.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Representative Hall. Representative Kanzler.
Yes.
Representative Flanagan.
Yes.
Representative Seaworth.
Yes.
Representative Avalani.
Yes.
Representative O'Day.
Yes.
Representative Rizzuto.
Yes.
Representative Callum. Representative Mackey.
Yes.
Representative Nunes.
Yes.
And Chair.
Yes.
Vote is 17-0.
I like unanimous votes. Okay, and now we're moving on to a work session on House Bill 1576. This is relative to establishing a targeted workforce development program. Again, I'll try to provide some background. When this came to the committee in a hearing earlier this year, most of the testimony came from the policy advisor, I think, to the governor, Mr. Elms, I believe is his name. And we were told that while this bill had supported a valuable concept, it wasn't really ready for prime time. We were also told that there would be another bill coming from the Senate that would be better structured. Obviously, that never happened for us. So what we're left with is a bill that was by its creator qualified as not ready to go forward. With that, and there was also some testimony against the bill from I believe it was the junior colleges, because there's the bill was shifting money from scholarships to debt relief. So at any rate, that's what we've got, and nothing has happened in the interim. With that, I'd open it up to discussion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Representative Flanagan.
In light of the fact of the brevity of the testimony and obviously the governor's office to resubmit it, I think we should just let this one go.
I tend to agree with the ranking member. Any other thoughts? Seeing no hands, seeing no one jumping up and down on the screen, it would appear that we are ready to move to executive session on this. Any objection? Seeing none. We're going into executive session on House Bill 1576. Do we have a motion, Representative Flanagan?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I recommend no further action.
And do we have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Susi. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Right. Representative Susi.
Yes.
Representative Baruti. Representative Hill.
Yes.
Representative Di Silvestro.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Toomey.
Yes.
Representative Bordy.
Yes.
Representative Bouchard.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Representative Hall. Representative Kanzler.
Yes.
Representative Flanagan.
Yes.
Representative Seaworth.
Yes.
Representative Avalani.
Yes.
Representative O'Day.
Yes.
Representative Ronzullo.
Yep.
Representative Callum. Representative Mackey.
Yes.
Representative Nunez.
Yes.
And Chair.
Yes.
Vote is 17-0. Cool.
Thank you, folks. Mr. Clerk, you can send the paperwork to our researcher, Christine Dyer. What's the best way, Christina, for him to get that to you?
Actually, I would say for any of that paperwork, you can go ahead and send that probably to the clerk. I'm sure he would be expecting it. But anyone that made a motion, we do need the recommendation report. You can send those to me, and then we'll get them published for you.
Okay, so our motions came from, I believe, Representative Flanagan on 2 and Representative Nunes on 1. And I would, in fact, I would suggest that you send those to me first because I'm supposed to review them. So if you could email those reports to me today, I would recommend that you keep them quite brief. No need to put a lot of sweat and tears into it. But
Mr. Clerk, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, yes, sir.
So basically send you an email and
please.
copy Christina in? Is that what you want us to do?
Either you can just send it directly to me and I'll forward it to her, or you can copy her on it as well. That would be fine. And then all I would have to do is just give it the thumbs up to go ahead and move down the pipeline.
And just so I know, the bill numbers were that we're dealing with today?
The bill numbers that you are dealing with are HB 1386 and HB 1576.
Hang on, I need to find a crayon. 13 what?
1386.
And what was the other one?
1576.
1576. And none of these pens right. Okay, I think I can do it.
if there's any issues, you can give me a call or send me a message.
Either that or go back to the original email, I think. Okay, here we go.
Representative, is you all set?
Mr. Chairman, confirming I'm HB 738, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And as we're drawing to a close here, I guess I'd like to say that over the last 2 years, I've thoroughly enjoyed working with the entire committee, and have enjoyed developing the relationships with all of you. And as we bring it to a close, I'd like to say I consider you all friends. We don't agree on everything. We've certainly had some energetic discussions, but I think we've been generally respectful of each other. I've tried to lead the committee with respect, and thank you all for making it a fun committee to work with. So with that, I guess we have a moment for other comments if anybody wants to make one.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Andy Rinzullo. Thank you. It's been good working with you, and I must commend you on in your final committee meeting. You got the Republicans to do all the work. Thank you.
And Mr. Chairman, it's been an honor and privilege to work with all of you. As you know, I'm not coming back. We don't necessarily agree on everything, but we're certainly not disagreeable. And I agree with you 100%. The professionalism of people is a quality that I think is unique, somewhat unique to this committee. It can be difficult at times and trying, but we deal with some unique positions and policy issues that I think no other committee deal with, whether it's unemployment, workers' compensation. It can be somewhat complicated to the average member. So I thank everyone.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, Representative Susi.
I'd like to concur with the chairman. I'm very appreciative of all the work that everybody on this committee's done, the respect we've had for one another. And Jack, I've known you for quite a while. I wish you the best of luck. We don't always agree, but at least we could have conversation. So thanks again, and good luck to everybody. Thank you.
Representative Avalani.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to echo the Representative Susi's and Flanagan's words. This committee has always been a pleasure to work with. We bring a multifaceted knowledge to the table to work on behalf of New Hampshire. And I just want to thank you again for not bringing in the outside vitriol of other committees and things like that. This committee has always been above that, and I want to thank you for that.
We've got an election coming up. Many of us are running. Some of us will be reelected, and some will perhaps request to be a part of the Labor Committee. None of us know how many of those requests will be honored. I have no idea if I will be chair if I'm reelected, but if I am, and if I see many or most of you next year, that would be delightful. With that, thank you for your 3 unanimous votes today, and looking forward to seeing you all in the future. With that, we're going to close the meeting.
Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and the rest of the committee.
Take care, y'all.
So long, folks.
Goodbye, friends.
Bye.
See you next time.